It is June, and it is freaking freezing in Canberra. It's only like 5 o'clock. It is 5:20 and it's already dark. It gets dark at 5 and it's freezing. And I took off my hoodie to film this, so you're welcome. So I didn't read much at all in May, and that's because I started a new job. And this is my first full-time job, so that is really good just financially for me and routine for me, but it does mean that I have not had nearly as much time as I'd like to have for reading. So let me just run you through what I read and what I thought of them. So the first book I finished in May was Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I was already pretty close to finishing this, I think, and I gave this 5 stars. I thought this was really cute and fun. I loved the banter. I loved the kind of personal issues we dealt with in this. Hannah and Fox. So Hannah has this whole dynamic where she is a bit of like passive person and she's always kind of like the supporting character in life and not like the lead, and so it's kind of her learning to like value herself. And same with Fox, he's learning to value himself because he does have a reputation as being this real like promiscuous like Lothario, and it's kind of damaging to him that he's almost, it's the whole like, oh, if you want me to be the bad guy, then I'll be the bad guy, which is kind of sad. But it's like, you don't really think about like guys getting slut shamed that much, and it was just like he just like didn't even think that anyone would want anything more than a one night stand with him. So just these two like finally getting together, I was like, the growth. But also some of the angst in here didn't make sense. Like they'd both kind of been like, I have issues, I have feelings, and they were still like, but no. And I'm like, but why though? Explain yourself. But this one was like pretty good. I thought it was fun. It was 5 stars. It did what it do. After that, I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This was a really highly anticipated release for me, and I liked it enough, but I was not obsessed with it. And I don't know, I think it's just because Emily Henry's her first book, her debut, Beach Read, is like, she started so strong that everything else, I'm like, it's still good, but it's not Beach Read. This does have some like fun banter. This one kind of focuses more on family and personal and career ambitions and how that can cause a conflict between people. And as great as that is, it felt like this didn't feel like it was like a romance. The romance was a subplot within this. So I kind of wish we got more of the romance. This was a bit longer, or that was balanced a bit more. But I would like to go back and reread this and People We Met on Vacation down the line, because I did kind of read them a bit choppy, broken up in between other things. So I would like to go back and read it. And there are some really beautiful just like passages and quotes that like I didn't mark. So I'd like to go back and annotate this and People We Meet on Vacation and then kind of compare the quotes from them all and see what I liked. But yeah, so I like this, I didn't love it. So I gave it a 4-star rating because I was like, it was still good, but I think it's just, it's like not fair because I can't not compare it to her best work. I did a reread of The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. So I'm actually going to go and reread the whole series of Throne of Glass, which I've only read the whole thing once, however many years ago, so this is going to be exciting to rediscover and relearn because there's a lot I don't remember, and I really enjoyed my reread of this time. So I gave it 4 stars on the second time round, which I bumped up a star. It was at a 3, and it was just because like I usually don't like novellas, but these are just really kind of, even though they're PC, there's a lot going on and it's exciting, and there is like the fate of a certain character that you already know if you've read even just like Throne of Glass, because this is the prequel, but you already know the fate of a character. So there was just so much like foreshadowing, and I was like, I know you're gonna hurt me. And it's just sad. But it's fine. It's fine. But I do like that we get background on that character that doesn't feature in the rest of the series. Some origins for Selena Sardothian, and just, it's fun. Like, you know, one of them, like, she's like training in the desert to be an assassin. One of them, she's like taking down a pirate king. It's good. It's fun. And just, I love that as well as being an assassin, she loves to read and she loves the theatre and she loves music. So basically, we're the same person. And the last book I read in May was The Lies of Lokmora by Scott Lynch. This was a buddy read that I think my friend Emily and I'll link her in the description, that we started I think in March, and we were reading it like in increments, and then kind of life got crazy and we took some time off. So we have been reading this for a long time. So that may have hindered the enjoyable experience like a bit, but I still really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4-star rating. I could have given it a 3, but I decided for 4. I do feel like this has been hyped a lot for me, so that kind of set the bar. Wasn't really fair. But yeah, this was fun. We have like some thieves doing cons on the streets of like what's not Venice, but it's Venice. And then there's like a sprinkling of fantasy, but also this is a series. So like I am interested to see what happens with the rest of the fantasy going forward. I did kind of feel like even though this wrapped up, I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't, and it would like continue the conflict moving forward, because it's like, there's the bad guy. Let's take care of him. So it's like, all right, well, what's next? You know? And it was like, ooh, reveal who the bad guy is, but like it didn't really hold weight. It was just kind of like, cool then. And yeah, some of the flashbacks did kind of slow it down a bit. And while they were like interesting world building, it's like, what is this adding to the story? Can we move forward? Or can we not? Can we have a longer section of the past and then just keep going chronological rather than bam, 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 bam? You know? I've had a lot of people be like, oh my god, like the friendship in this one, the friendship in this one. And I'm like, yeah, but like between two characters in particular, their friendship like grows stronger, but I'm like, there's not enough that I'm like die hard for these friends. But even saying that, like I did get a bit more invested than I thought at certain points, where I was like, okay, no, I want to know what's happening to these characters. But like there wasn't enough backstory and banter between all of them, so that kind of wrecked it a little bit for me. And one of the things I found quite shit in this is that we don't have a lot of female characters, or if we do, they like don't do anything, or like they have potential and then it goes nowhere. So I'm a bit frustrated by that. I kind of hope to see that improve a bit in the series. I've kind of heard in passing that might not, but I'll just read it. But it's not like every story has to have like women being badass, because you know we've got those stories, but it's just like, is that why can't there be women involved in the plot more than this? So there we have it, folks. I read 2 romance and 2 fantasy, and I'm hoping to read a lot more in June. It's currently the 8th of June, so hopefully we can get those numbers up. I've only read 1 so far, but I'm like just over halfway through another one, and I'm trying to read 10 books, so wish me luck. You'll be seeing a vlog at some point. Alright, bye.